Okay, okay. Hey, YouTube. I am back. Going to look at some college basketball games today. Haven't made a video in a couple days, so we'll just do a quick recap and get into it. I was only on 3 bets on Saturday. That was the last day I had made a video. I started off with Texas A&M. This was a horrible bet. They got destroyed. I tried to be a little contrarian here and go with the underdog that I thought would maybe surprise to the upside, but they got destroyed. So, not great. Houston looks good though. I'll give him that. So next game was Gonzaga. I took Gonzaga against Texas. I thought I was honestly skeptical, but I thought they were better. They honestly didn't play a lot of hard teams on their schedule, so probably shouldn't have had so much faith in them because low key, when you look into it, they kind of were unproven, but just kind of expected to be good, and they just didn't really look good against Texas. So they took the L. Texas is moving on to play Purdue, and then the third game was Illinois, and yeah, Illinois did good. They covered for us pretty easily, so they covered the 10.5. They were my only win, so I'll take it though. I'll take it better than getting having a complete shutout here. So let's move on to the next games. I'm gonna go over a couple NIT games for tomorrow, and then over the Sweet 16 games for the March Madness tournament. First game is Illinois State at Dayton. In this game, I actually like Illinois State plus the 7.5. I have Dayton winning by like 5.5 tops. So I don't really have them covering this number in any sample besides the home sample, but I don't necessarily put a ton of stock into that early season play and a lot of some of the tough losses that Illinois State might have taken early in the season. And I just think that Dayton is definitely due for a little bit of a letdown spot here for sure. I think they just shot pretty good the last couple games, especially the last game. So I do think that we see them falter here, and this ends up being a close game. And like Illinois State just looks dominant on the court. They really look like they can go up against any of these teams in this tournament and keep a close game at this point. I mean, they just beat Kent State and Wake Forest back to back. And those are two teams that I think have a chance at beating Dayton for sure. Wake Forest absolutely could beat Dayton. So I think 7.5 is too much right here. I'm rolling with Illinois State. Next game is Nevada at Auburn. I just don't think Auburn is that good. I just think their name carries a lot of weight. Again, don't have them covering anywhere but the home sample, but I just don't believe this sample is that relevant right now. It's like not a real home game. Nobody's coming to these NIT games like they were regular season games or conference tournament games. So or even just in conference games. So I think Nevada's a pretty good team, and I think the Mountain West Conference is so underrated, and all of those teams can play with the best teams in the country. So Nevada has beaten teams like New Mexico and probably like San Diego State. So I think that they can easily keep a close game with Auburn right now. So I'm liking the two NIT dogs, so I'm gonna be on probably both of the NIT dogs against the spread here, getting 9.5 for Nevada. I'll see if I can do better than that, but yeah, I only have Auburn winning this game by maybe 6 points. So liking the NIT dogs for tomorrow. Next game is Texas versus Purdue. This game is tough, but like I actually like Texas here. I think Texas is like has a chance to win this game for sure. I think Purdue's offense has been playing really good and just I don't think that there's a good chance that they keep shooting above average. I mean, just looking at their trailing five, like their performance in recent games, they've been shooting at a really good rate. Their offensive rating has been well above season averages. So I think this is a letdown spot for Purdue in that I don't think I think they'll have a below average game shooting against this Texas defense, who maybe maybe this Texas defense isn't that proven, but even if you look at their shooting recently and their offense, I mean, they're not playing like above their season averages or anything. So I think it's more likely that Texas has an above average game offensively here because they're getting in a role. They're super motivated right now. They had to play into the tournament and now they're playing a Sweet 16 game versus a team that I think they can beat. So I like Texas. I'll probably take Texas plus the 7.5. Like, I think Purdue does probably win this game, but I think that Texas takes it close. Yeah, that keeps it close, and I think Purdue struggles offensively this game. It's just like I just wonder, is Texas's defense gonna just not hold up? I mean, to me, I think it will, and that's what is gonna make the difference in this game. So. I'm liking Texas. I'll probably be on Texas plus the points. Next game is Iowa versus Nebraska. I like Nebraska here. I honestly don't believe this Iowa team, and okay, I just like to fade them off of that insane win against Florida. So their defense is going crazy. I give them that for sure, but I mean Nebraska's defense is pretty crazy too. Like it's kind of a little swept under the rug detail, but I think Nebraska's defense is just as, comparable, if not better. So I think that this is a low scoring game, but I think Nebraska is more likely to get their offense going and can win this by a couple possessions. So I'm rolling Nebraska here. I kind of like the over to be honest, but maybe these teams do both stay in the 60s. So I mean, I doubt that. I honestly think this goes over the 132.5, but I'll likely just be on Nebraska here minus 1.5. I'm gonna probably just take a team for all of these games since it's the end of the season. Next game, Arizona versus Arkansas. So for this game, it's tough because there's just no way I'm fading Arizona, honestly. Especially how hot Arkansas has and how good they've been shooting and how good Acuff has been shooting. Like, I honestly do expect them to kind of falter here. So, this one hurts, but I think I'm going to have to go with Arizona. And it's like, I'm not even really getting them to cover this number, but there's just no way I'm fading this team. I have more trust in this team than anybody else in the league right now. So I have them winning by 3-6 off of a harder schedule. Yeah, all of these samples, I have them with a much harder schedule. But yeah, I really don't think I'm going to actually take this game. I know I said I was going to take every game, but now I'm going back on my word there because I just don't know what I think of this game. Like if I could get Arizona 6.5, I'm rolling. The Arizona is so good. So good. It's just like, yeah, Arkansas's offense looks crazy, but it's like, all right, Arkansas is letting up over 80 points a game, whereas people are struggling, good teams are struggling to get to 70 points versus Arizona. It's just really impressive. So yeah, maybe A Cup Jr. chucks him up and keeps this game close, but yeah, it's this one's tough, but like the number is good. The number is probably good. I don't think I'm gonna be able to touch it. If I can get Arizona minus 6.5, I'll consider. But other than that, it's just this is one's too close to me. All right, next one, Illinois versus Houston. So in this game, I like Illinois plus the 3.5 just because I kind of see this as a pick 'em. I mean. Illinois' defense is not that bad, and like their offense is just so crazy, and it looks so crazy right now. I don't know. It's kind of tough to like stand in the way of it. One thing I kind of like to look at though is these right here. So for Illinois, you can kind of see how hot their offense has been. Just looking at like their offensive rating, for example. Okay, so their offensive rating has actually been below the season average. So their offensive rating has been below season averages, so they could outperform offensively. And just looking at their field goal percentage, it's been kind of low. So no reason to really believe that they'll perform below average here. And Houston, like I'm sure a lot of people are picking Houston, who is also kind of playing. Oh no, they're playing around average offensively, trailing five. So their trailing five average is about equal to the season average for offensive rating. And they've been shooting okay too, around average. Let's see how they've been doing defensively. So like defensively, Houston's been playing ridiculous. Well above average. So it's not crazy to think that they have a pretty bad defensive game here. I don't know. Hmm. Yeah, I like Illinois plus the 3.5 just because like this really is just like kind of like a pick 'em to me. I know Houston is supposedly so crazy, but I think they kind of cool off a little bit here and run into some trouble with Illinois, who hit some shots on them. Illinois could easily have a crazy day shooting. So I like Illinois plus the 3.5. I really do. I don't really have Houston covering that number in any sample, and I think that they kind of falter here defensively. So also one where like I do kind of like the over. I think these teams both get over that 70-point mark for sure, but maybe not. Maybe this is a little showdown defensively. So I like Illinois plus the 3.5. Next game is St. John's versus Duke. So I won't be on this game, but I like Duke, honestly, minus the 6.5. I think Duke is like getting it figured out here without their point guard, and they just like whooped on TCU the whole second half of the game, and I think they continue with that momentum. Like this is their first hard, like I mean, I don't want to say their first hard game, but this is by far their hardest game of the tournament and the hardest team I think they've played since the conference tournament. And I mean, I think St. John's can put up somewhat of a fight, but I think this is a letdown spot for St. John's after that insane win. So I honestly like Duke. I think people are just sleeping on Duke because they're missing that point guard, but that big is could possibly be back. And they're getting along without that point guard. And I think they'll continue to get along without him. I think the Boozer brothers are about to make a statement this game for real. So I like Duke, honestly. I don't think St. John's can win. But we'll see. They do have their big, but I think Cameron Boozer is going to be able to lock him down and honestly score. So not gonna be on this one just because it's a New York game and I don't bet New York games, but I like Duke a lot. Next game, we got Alabama versus Michigan. In this game, like, this is another game I probably won't take here, but it's tough because I honestly think that Alabama is going to slip up shooting and Michigan is going to be able to score a lot. So this is another situation where like last time I wanted to pick Michigan, but I didn't because I wasn't getting that good of a number. I think right now, like some of the samples have Michigan just undervalued. I think they have such a ability to score on some of these defenses at such a high rate, and I think their defense is really good matched up to these teams too, like Alabama. So I lean Michigan here minus the 9.5 even. Like I think Michigan is going to destroy them because Alabama is just not going to be able to keep hitting its shots at the rate that it's been hitting them. And like we can try to look at this real quick for Alabama. So like let's just look, right? So Alabama, if we look at just their Offensive rating, okay, they spent a lot of time above average here, and then now they're sitting about average offensive rating, pretty consistent all year. Their field goal percentage is the last couple games above average, one, two. So in the last 5 games, 3 of those games they shot at an above average percentage. They're coming off of basically a 57 and a 58% game. So yeah, I expect them to come back to average and like come down a little. They've been shooting like if you look at the last 10 games, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, they've been shooting really well above average. So I just don't think Alabama is going to shoot good. And I think Michigan is just like a force to be reckoned with here and is just really getting fired up now to start destroying teams. So I think this is a game where Michigan just absolutely comes in here and just destroys them. So I like Michigan minus the 9.5. I'll probably be on that, even though I'm not getting that whatsoever. I think this is a moment where we just back our buddies in Michigan to destroy. All right, next game is Michigan State versus UConn. This game, I honestly don't know because I just don't understand UConn. And I personally just don't think they're that good. I think UCLA is bad, and I wasn't really impressed with their win versus UCLA. I don't think their conference is good at all. The only other good team is St. John's, and they lost to multiple bad teams in their conference. They lost St. John's horribly twice. So I definitely will not be backing UConn in this game. There's just no way I would do that. So that leaves me with Michigan State. Do I actually want to back Michigan State here versus UConn? And I kind of do. I really kind of do. I think that Michigan State has some more impressive moments. They fought good games they had one good game against Michigan, which is like enough for me to respect you. Any team that can come within single digits of Michigan. But it's tough because I have UConn like a point and a half better, but second half of the season, I have Michigan a couple points better. More recent samples, yeah, I have UConn a couple points better. So I am getting around that same line of 1.5 minus 1.5 UConn, but I don't think so. So for this game, I'm not too sure. I kind of like an over just because I do think both of these teams make it to 70 points in this game. I mean, Michigan is scoring 80 points a game, and yeah, UConn's defense is good, but like it's good versus bad teams. They let Furman put up like a decent amount of points on them. So I like Michigan State plus the 1.5 and the over in this game. So I'm gonna end up choosing between one of those, either Michigan State plus 1.5 or the over. I just think a lot of people are on UConn, but I just don't believe that they're good. I don't think that they'll win this. Last game, Tennessee versus Iowa State. So for this game, I I kind of like Iowa State, but it's kind of tough for me to go against Tennessee here because I just really have they've been playing so good, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to just fade all the success Tennessee's been having and just they have a lot of questionable losses, and I think this Iowa State team is getting their player back and is going to go crazy. Like I think Iowa State has a chance to make it, to possibly the championship game in this tournament. So I'm going to back Iowa State here as my last pick against Tennessee. I hate to fade them. I do think they have a chance at keeping this game pretty close, but I'm going to try to get a lower number, but I think Iowa State wins this game by close to 10. All right, so that will do it for the video. I'll be on most of the games besides like two of them. So the ones that I said I'm kind of staying off of, I'm probably not going to be on. But just to recap my picks: Illinois State plus 7.5, Nevada plus 9.5, Texas plus 7.5, Nebraska minus 1.5. See, Arkansas, Arizona, I'm good on. I'm not even going to have a pick on this one. Illinois plus 3.5, Duke minus 6.5, Michigan minus 9.5, Michigan State plus 1.5, Iowa State minus 4.5. Okay, that'll do it. Thank you.